Hello dearies, welcome to the Craft Kitchen. If you've just recently found my channel, my name is Tina, I'm from Germany, and this channel is all about junk journaling, tips and tricks, and hopefully some useful information about the materials we're using for junk journaling. So in today's video we are going to be decorating the inside of the cover for the autumn journal. We've started. We've already prepared the signatures to be glued in. And for the cover I've decided to make kind of a lapbook. So I will attach a fold out to each of the bookends, decorate it, and then glue in the end paper sheets. And yes, I'm going to be making this before I'm gluing in the signature. Well, let's see. When I was thinking about what to record today, I saw the fabric strips are way too long, so they will cover the end paper pictures, and actually I don't like it, but I can't just cut them, let's say in half, and then glue them on. Would look way better, because I would lose the actual attachment these fabric strips are providing. So I think, yep, I'm gonna be cutting them, let's say in half, but to attach the signatures to the cover I will have to glue something on here, something longer, there, that I can use. Let's use this as an example. So let's say if this is glued under this, then I can glue the whole sheet to the cover, put my end papers on here, and then glue the fabric strips over, more like a decoration. Make sense? We'll get to that at the end of the video, I think. But first, let's prepare the fold-outs for the cover. For our lapbook flaps inside of our book cover, I'm using 300 GSM manila cardstock, which I have pre-folded to make a gusset, and this and this will be the gluing on part to our cover. So I want to distress only the edges of this with some stamping ink before I actually start really distressing them and grunging up. So I have taken out my craft mat. Makes it way easier to work with these brushes, because it is glass, you know. So just coloring the edges irregular. Yeah, I have inked around my panels, front and back. I don't think I can use the video material because we had an incident while I was filming. One of our cats, yeah, they are allowed now in the craft kitchen. I don't like it yet, but I will get used to it. Deliberately jumped behind a counter from the top and couldn't get back out. So we had to rescue her. Yeah, I'm spreading school glue on my distressed edges on both panels. Just a thin layer. Maybe I'm going to be using the tiniest bit more. I don't know yet. As always, dearies, I don't know. There you go. And I'm not letting the glue dry completely, only until it's, yeah, more or less dry to the touch. Still sticky underneath, but on top there is kind of a hide. There. I think I'll wait for about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to color some chalk paint here on my glass mat. This is old white water-based matte finish. Let's see, I think this is acrylic based paint. I can't find it. I have to look for it. Yeah, well, it smells like acrylic based, acrylic water based paint. I'm coloring this with only 1 drop of alcohol ink. Let's see what we will have. No, 1 drop isn't enough. So most of the glue has a slight film on top, so I'm using a slightly wider brush than my glue brush and just painting on the chalk paint, trying to not too much cross my brush strokes. Well, let's see, I have to, no choice. You could use crackle paint for this, but with most crackle paints you can only move your brush in one direction, so and only once, of course. So I couldn't cross them down here like my strokes, you know. There you go. Here also. Not pressing too hard because the glue under the already dried film is still wet and I don't want to move it. So 1, and now for the other one. Let me get you a bit closer. There, maybe you can see this is too close. There, the paint already starts to crackle, And now I have to wait for this frames to completely dry. Decorated both sides, front and back of the panels, and there you can see the crackles on here. This is happening because the glue underneath has a longer drying time than the paint I've put on top. In this case, acrylic mixed paint. There. And here. Beautiful crackles. There you go. So, and yeah, of course, I do have some bumps in here, and I'm going to remove them with this sponge. Yeah, this side is kind of a rough foam, and it acts in fact like sandpaper. So I'm removing the bumps I've created here. There you can see the paint strokes still. I'm going to sand them off, so I don't have them shown under my decorative papers. So, removed all the bumps here in the middle. Left those because I do want this texture on this paper. You know, when I found this paper with which I'm going to decorate my file folders, I thought, let's repeat this crackled paint look on the panels, and yeah, these frames were the obvious. I need some paper to decorate the inside, bit more colorful paper, and these are my actually misprints of my homemade paste papers, and I'm gonna be using the middle parts, the green and red. It's a bit purple in here, doesn't matter. So for the front, I'm gonna be using the lighter sheet, and I will have to measure. Do I? Actually, I don't. I just cut this where I want the outer edge to be. Getting this straight on my cutting mat, and yeah, this is where I do want to cut this. Straight would be nice. There you go. And now I just can place this on here and make some marks with my pencil. So let's see. There. Yeah. Let's cut this first. Makes it easier. Well, this actually already looks kind of like autumn leaves to me, doesn't it? So, gluing on the decorative papers, let me remove this pencil mark. Do I want to ink this first? Yeah, I think so. For this I'm using VersaFine Vintage Sepia, because this is a beautiful reddish brown. It's kind of made for my journal. I have covered the flip out panels front and back with decorative papers. Front panel, back panel, yeah. And also my file folder, since I already had taken out my, actually PVA mix, 60% PVA, 40% methyl cellulose, because it was way too hot in here to just use bookbinding glue, aka PVA, to glue on the decorative papers, because the glue was drying too fast. So I have covered the mini file folders. I am going to attach here on the inside. Yes, I know. You won't be seeing the leaves and such anymore. And I actually don't like to cover pictures, but yeah, it is what it is. So before I'll attach them, I'm going to decorate them with some cutouts from my favorite magazine. This has been a page edge I just cut out, and I'm going to use this for the edge of my file folder. This also has been, this actually has been a corner. So I can use this on here for this corner too. And I'm just going to remove a bit of the white around here. Let me fold this open. As you can see, I have not decorated the back of the file folder, because I'm going to just glue it on. Yeah, well, I'm not going to glue these on only on 3 sides, so you could use it like a pocket, because I am going to make a tiny gusset in here, and I just have a spine of about 1/8 of an inch, so this would be too much if you could place something behind the file folder. So placing my tear off, not quite at the edge here. Yeah, just going to rip this tiny piece off. Come on. This magazine paper is actually very sturdy. There you go. Yeah. And this I'm taking care of. Okay, right now. I want to remove this there. So let's see. Yeah. Nicely fitting. And I think I'm using a yellowish tone of stamping ink to color the edges. So now we have decorated the file folders there, now I want to have kind of some, yeah, gussets in here, so you can fill this up with more tickets, labels, whatever. Well, for the gussets, I'm using this leftover piece of craft paper. Oh, yeah, it's about, I'd say 130 GSM. I don't want the gusset to be too sturdy, so that the folder can close properly when the book is closed, because we only have a 1/8 of an inch for a gusset spine, whatever here. Yeah, so I think I'm using, yeah, the short part of this. This will be enough. So just scoring 3 times 1/4 of an inch, and flipping this over again and again to make it easier to make the folds, because remember, a valley becomes a hill, and just cutting at 1 inch. There you go. Valley, hill, and valley, hill, again, valley to hill. There. And just gluing this in on here, like so. There. So this will only open the tiniest bit and not get in the way when I'm closing the book cover. Well, before we're gluing the pockets to the back of the front panel, the front lapbook panel, we're going to decorate the front side, because you know, when these are glued under here it gets a bit bumpy, so let's decorate this side first. I've taken out my cutouts for this project, also some labels. Let's decide for the shape of the label when we have decorated the panel. So there, first page done, first front page of the front panel. Made a pocket here. This is actually rust water dyed cheesecloth, and I've added some washi stickers which I stamped around with this yellow, and yeah, backed all of them with glue because I don't trust this washi glue. And This was printed especially for this journal. And this I've made a month ago. Has been another color experiment on glossy paper. I love it. And since I'm not sure what color of hardware I'm going to use for this, I'm just leaving the tags in there for the moment. So now we want to glue on our pockets here and here, there, and then we're actually done with the front panel. Front panel done. This is all sorts of crooked, so either I just go with it or I just find a solution. I don't know yet. I am going to press this and then we're going over to the back panel. For the back panel I want to have a notepad. I was thinking to attach my notepad directly to the panel, but I think I'm going to make it removable. Fits perfectly. I'm going to attach the flap with black brads, and I'm also using hole reinforcements on here. So let's see. There. 1 and 2. Why is there a line on this? There you go. Is this working for me? Black on black? Yeah, I think so. Yes. I'm just using my brads through here. Oh, come here. Through here and here. And because I do want this to be exchangeable, I'm just opening them on the back there, and then you can take the brads out and put in some other sheets of paper. So now with the black brads, I don't have the problem that I can't use any other color in the journal. Of course, I want to attach this. I want this to be hung in on top, like so. There you go. And for this I'm using another strip of this exact cardboard, but I'm going to be covering my cardboard, my cardstock, sorry, with this kind of like floral paper I made myself. So we're going to make a small belly band here. So this can actually be hung in. Where's my pencil? There. This is the end of the notepad, and this is the top point. everything glued on, decorated the paper, and yeah, colored it a bit, yeah, with this reddish brown sepia, vintage sepia, and portobello. Looks really, really grungy, love it. So let's hope that our notepad fits in here. Remember, we didn't have much space to glue anything on. Yes, I did it. So this is for the front of the back panel. And for the back of the back panel, I have chosen to put in the writing board. And for this, we're going to need another belly band or pocket. No, I'm going with a vertical belly band. The belly band for the writing board on the inside of the back panel here will have the same look as the belly band for our notepad. I've already taken this out, so this makes it easier to glue something on here. But I want it to be a bit wider, like so, and yeah, it will be glued on horizontally. Also, I have to make gussets because the writing board is 1.3 millimeters thick, and we do want to cover this. So we're going to be making gussets. So let's see. First, I'm taking the height of this here, and then I do want 1/8 of an inch. 1/8? Do I want 1/8? Yeah, this should. Yeah, for the gusset, and another gusset, top and bottom, and then we need. It's actually very heavy. Let's say, I think, yeah, 3/8 of an inch on both sides for the glue flaps. So this is our length, and I've measured it the wrong way down. So again, 1/8 of an inch for one gusset and the other. Then we want 3/8 of an inch for the flaps each. So we need exactly 1 inch more. Let's cut this. There. Ah, here you are. And the width, let's see. Like so. Maybe, what do we have here? 2 inches? 2.5? No. 2 1/4. Let's get the middle of this. One, 2 1/4. There. Yes, I like this. Yes, yes. And again, we need decorative papers for this. I think I'm going to trace it. I don't have a straight line here. There you go. And to make it easier to slide the writing board in, I'm cutting the flaps at the slightest angle. Move this up and down. This is up, so this is up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so... Oh, I love it. Amazing. So now you know how to make the bark of a birch. Me too. This is awesome. Yes. I just love it. Beautiful. Anyway, I want to glue this on here like a belly band. Just marking, because I have to remove it to put my glue on. Where is it? Here I definitely have to use, come out, all-purpose glue. You could use tacky glue, the good stuff, of course, which deserves to be called tacky glue. Because this paint has the tiniest bit of chalk in it, and I need a glue that actually sticks on this. So, waiting for this to dry, and then I fold this over, glue the top on, and then I can put my writing board in here. I've already started to decorate my writing board. I've glued on my test prints on both sides with matte Mod Podge. Yeah. Luckily, I did see it before I was ready. When I was sealing this, the Mod Podge discolored my paper, my print. It's pink, no more brown. So I've sanded all of this, and the other side also, and put on some other papers. Not using Mod Podge this time, but gel medium, matte gel in this case. Another pro of using matte gel or gel medium is when you use these thin papers to cover your boards, the boards won't be warping that much, and your paper won't get wrinkles while drying. I don't know. The formula, yeah, this is gel, and of course it contains less water than Mod Podge, but also it has a longer drying time. Then again, this is matte gel, so the medium dries very rough on the surface, rougher than this paper, more of, yeah, I would say canvas. Yeah, pre-painted canvas. That's it. So I've sealed this side with my matte gel and then put a really thin layer of matte Mod Podge on top to smooth this out and get it a bit more shiny, because this is actually really matte. It is time to assemble our book pieces. I have glued a sheet of craft paper to the spine of the book block here. Only the inside spine piece, not the fabric. I also have finished the writing board, taken out everything of our flaps, and I've already sealed the edges of the cover with matte gel, using my finger and just a bit of matte gel spreading this out, because when I have the flaps glued onto here, I can't actually reach the 2-3 millimeters inside of the cover to make the edge a bit more waterproof. We're going to start with the flaps, because the width the flaps need is nearly as wide as the gap between the outer page of the signature and the cover edge. So I'm gluing the flaps in. For now, it doesn't matter which way the cover. And for this I'm using book binding glue, PVA glue, because I want the flaps to be very well attached, but still the tiniest bit flexible. Doing the same for the back panel, and when this is dry I will attach the signature. The next step will be to glue in our book block. I just left my sheet as long as it was. You could cut this, let's say about here in half. Actually would be enough, but I do want to cover the kind of hole here a bit, because I will glue on decorative paper afterwards, and I don't want to have that many differences in height showing through my paper. So I actually sorry for this, didn't mention this, marked where I do have to glue on my paper so that my spine is centered to the outer spine. Let me see, yeah, this will work. So you take your spine piece, place it on the spine in here. I have to fold this first. Then just close your book and push the spine to the gap of the outer spine. Same on the other side. There. Now this should be centered, and then you just have to mark where you will have to place your paper edges when gluing them on. What I'm not going to do, I see this very, very often, and actually I don't understand. I will not put glue on here, because when I glue this down, the spine of this, and this, let's say, wings, there will be so much tension that eventually when you open the book, either the end papers or the inner spine will tear off. You need to have a bit of movement here. Show you again. I think I did already show you this. So when I glue this on here, the spine can't do this. This gap won't be there because this will be glued on. So your end papers always will be too short to open the book properly. I don't know if you can see this. There's the end paper. And when I would glue the spine on and open the book, there, the end paper would want to move for about 1 or 2 millimeters, maybe 3, to the back of the book, to the spine, but it can't. So eventually the end papers or even the cover itself would tear here at some point. So I'm just going to glue on the end papers here. So maybe you can see this. My paper already has folded in properly into the gap here and here, the gap between the cover boards and the spine. And now I'm placing non-sticky paper here and here, and I will press this for about 2 or 3 hours, so this can dry completely. The final thing to do would actually just be to glue in the cover sheets here, but I didn't consider my prints were shorter than the cover boards, and now I do have here first the flap in a different color glued on, and then the gap, top and bottom. So what I'm going to do now is repeat the pattern of the flaps here, this crackled paint look on top and bottom on the inside of front and back cover. Then I will glue in the decorative papers and also my fabric strips. I would say this already is looking like a book. Well, in fact, it is a book. Still very thin, as you can see here. We can fill it up and create in here. Yeah, our first flip out panel there, opening to the outside, 2 pockets. Then I've shortened the fabric strip here on the inside spine, which I didn't glue on. There you go. Just decorative paper. There you do have your first signature. And the gap in between the first and the second signature. So there's plenty of space and the pages can lay relatively flat in here. Love it. Then the back panel of the back flip out with a notepad on here. This is removable and the papers on here are exchangeable. Flipping this out, you'll find a writing board decorated from both sides. Bless you. I think my cat just found a little bit of dust. Yeah, she did. Yeah. She just came out of the shoe rack. Oh, and on the back side I've also shortened the fabric. Just cut it in cut it and then ripped it in half. Glued the paper on. Yeah, I'm still she's still sneezing. I'm still deciding if I do want to decorate the cover now or if I want to start decorating the pages in here, putting pockets and tags and belly bands, tag spots, whatever in here, or just already start decorating the cover. I'm not sure yet. I have to think about this because I've never done this so far, this way around. First putting the book together and then decorating it. I find it way easier if you have the cover for itself and the signatures, and when all is done, signatures and cover, you just put it together. So I actually do have to think about the next steps before I decide what we're going to be doing with this in the next video. Just don't forget to download your freebie, also the fuzzy cuts. The freebie is actually a full sheet, this and this side together. I just cut it in half and used it for decoration. The fuzzy cuts are matching this picture, the style and the colors. And there's also a journaling card on the fuzzy cut page. So dearies, I hope you liked what I've shown you and could learn a little bit today. Don't forget to like, subscribe and of course comment. I love your comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay creative and be excellent to each other. Bye!